Hey everyone, and welcome to another video. I'm Dan, also known as the Vintage RV'er, and I've got my spread here of different electronic devices, electrical devices in the RV. And this is a inverter, a 3,000 watt inverter that we had from our old 77 Dodge Tioga. This is the original converter, inverter, charger from our 87 Allegro that's out there. And this is the boondocker unit that I bought in order to replace this unit because I figured, well, it's 30 some odd years old, probably time for a change, and figured I'd upgrade to this new unit here. This one here, the reason what prompted this video is the fact that I think that this is not working like it's supposed to. So on this video, we're going to figure out and troubleshoot why that is, and teach you how to troubleshoot a inverter charger. All right, cool. We've got this meter hooked up. You can see it's charging it, not charging, but the battery is a little over 12 volts. Usually it runs at 12.46, somewhere around there. But you know, we're going to take a look at it. What I do is I've got this converter charged, hooked up, ready to go. I've got a ground wire running off, and I also have the actual terminals connected through these. As you can see here, I've got them connected. It's a little off the screen, and I do apologize. Let's move that over just a little bit, or move it back so we can at least see what we're doing. We're going to do this here a little bit. There we go. That's better. So I'm going to hook up and turn it on, juice this converter, and as you can see here, what's happening. You can see here that the voltage is going up. It's charging, it goes up a little bit here. Hopefully it'll stabilize at about 14 volts or so. Yeah, so you can see that this unit is charging. And we want to check that to make sure that yes, that is indeed what it is doing when it is hooked up to shore power. So that's cool. What I'm fearful of is that this unit is not doing the same job. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same test I did with this old converter charger unit and hook it up the same way and see what happens. Okay, not the perfect setup, but at least I've got this one set up. Got the two leads, got the ground hooked up. We're going to see what happens when I turn the power strip back on. Now I would think that this light would come on. And there are some settings, switches on the boondocker on the side here. I'll show them real carefully. Go through, you can see here. So there's a 3-stage or fixed output, and then 16.5 volts or 13 volts. So what I've done here is I haven't messed with these switches yet, and I haven't messed with this one either. It's a little dip switch. You have to go in and flip it one way or the other. So I haven't changed this from when it was installed in the rig, and we're going to see what happens. I'm going to juice this up, see what happens with the tester. As you can see here, even in the short time that the battery was hooked up, for just a short time was hooked up to this inverter, it charged it up a little bit, and it's not been losing a charge. It stabilized it at about 12.34, and it's been sitting there for a little while. So let's turn it back on and see what happens. Now I can hear this one going, so I want to make sure that I got that unplugged. And I just have this one, which you don't hear anything at this point. There's like nothing. And if you notice, this has not changed. This should be working. And I don't know what's going on, so I'm going to turn the power off to it and see if I can get it to work here. So let's check the fuses. That would be the first step, check the fuses. Well, it looks like the fuses are intact. This one is anyways. That's hard to see. I apologize. And we come to this one. That one also seems to be very intact. So I'm going to place those back in. So I'm going to try juicing it up again, see what happens. You can see I've lost a little voltage across the line. So let's see what happens. And again, I'm not getting anything from this unit. Zero, nada, nothing. Hey, I called the folks at Best Converter, the people that I bought this unit from, obviously, and tested, and it's not working. Then a few months later, finally got around to getting it rectified, and quite frankly, they were really cool. So I talked to Lori, who said talk to Randy, and then I got a number from another guy, Aaron, at PowerMax, which actually makes the units, and they're going to set up arrangements for me to get this old boondocking unit shipped back to them and get a new one shipped back to me so I can actually, you know, have a working converter as opposed to my 30-some-odd-year-old one from the original rig. But okay, that's cool. At least I wasn't crazy. The green light wasn't coming on. Randy's like, yeah, if no matter what you do, the green light doesn't come on, it's dead. So we're going to just get it replaced. That's what we're going to do. So let's move on to the inverter. What I wanted to do is get this boondocker unit is definitely deader than a doornail, as we like to call it. So we're going to take that and put that over here and get that ready to go for return. But in the meantime, I want to get this here hooked up. I'm going to do that with the jumper cables and show you how something like that can work with it. Yikes. There you go, see? So this has converted the 12 volt to 120 volt power, which is kind of cool. And that's what an inverter does, you can see here. That's what we've got over to variable volts, obviously, because it's AC. And see what it outputs. There you go. 102, 103, not the greatest, but it does output a certain amount. And yeah, not exactly 110, but it does. Maybe I'll do that. I'll leave that in there like that. Well, it won't stay in, maybe. And then I can do this. Oh. See, it jumps up when the demand hits. It goes up to 120 volts. And there's your inverter. It's not a converter, it's not a battery charger. You see it drops right back down again. Yep. So that's what we got. That's how an inverter works, that's how a converter works, and that's how you know, the one over on the shelf over there doesn't work at all. So I'm going to disconnect these guys because, quite frankly, I don't want to drain the battery out anymore. And let's see what we got. Oh, 20 volts. Still, about 12 volts. 12.04 volts. Not too bad. Not too shabby. So that's how these different components work. I'm guessing this one is actually still working as intended, which is cool. It's nice to have as a backup. The one over there is not working, and I'm going to return that one and get that replaced as noted. And this one here, you know, haven't been used in quite a few years, about 3 or 4 years. So, you know, it's interesting it still works pretty decently for the fact that it's been sitting around as long as it has. So I hope this has been informative, and if not, sorry about that, but if it has, great. and we'll have some more videos coming up soon. Take care.